Saudi Arabia's aerial campaign against Yemen shows no sign of abating as warplanes carry out fresh deadly strikes on the impoverished nation. Now, 3 people, including women, were killed when Saudi jets bombarded Hudaydah province. Another air raid targeted a vehicle in the province of Hudaydah, leaving at least 9 people dead and 3 others wounded. Saudi Arabia's devastating war on Yemen has claimed over 13,000 lives since early 2015. An ongoing Saudi blockade of Yemen has also added to the suffering of people, causing food and medicine shortages throughout the war-ravaged country. UN has warned that a humanitarian catastrophe is occurring in Yemen, with millions of people in need of urgent aid. And for more on the story, we're joined out of Ontario by Mr. Ken Stone from the Hamilton Coalition to Stop the War. Hello, Mr. Stone, and thank you for joining us. First of all, your thoughts on nearly 1 million people infected with cholera, almost 3,000 people dead, most of them kids under the age of 5. UN has just released a report last week that 130 kids or more are dying daily due to malnutrition and other diseases because of the Saudi blockade, because of medicine. And you can't even use food and medicine as a tool of war. It's a war crime to do so. So how is Riyadh getting away with this?
Riyadh gets away with this because it has the backing of the powerful countries of the world. It has the backing of the United States, Israel, and many NATO countries. The Saudi royal family has committed several illegal acts in Yemen. First of all, it is waging a war, an illegal war of aggression against a sovereign state. Secondly, it is conducting a indiscriminate bombing campaign of Yemen. And thirdly, it is blockading Yemeni ports. All of these are illegal, yet it can get away with these things because the USA and its NATO allies, including Canada, give Riyadh, give the Saudi royal family a pass at the UN. In fact, they give them rewards at the UN, including the chairmanship of the Women's Committee and the Human Rights Council. But the Saudi government, the Saudi royal family, provides some services for the powerful countries of the West. One is that they bank their oil money in London and New York. Secondly, they provide boots on the ground for the U.S. empire all over the world. And thirdly, they make huge arms purchases from Western countries such as Canada. In return, they get a pass at the United Nations. The problem with the United Nations is that it is the body that is delegated by international law to take collective action against aggression. And though the United Nations has made some token condemnations of the Saudi bombing, which has killed more than 15,000 Yemeni civilians, and though it has tried on several occasions, made feeble attempts at peace conferences, the United Nations has failed so far to take any collective action, as it is supposed to do under the Charter, against illegal military aggression. And in a situation like that, it's necessary for ordinary people around the world to take action on their own. And this is where the peace movement comes in. We have done, but we could do a lot more rallies and demonstrations against the illegal Saudi war. We could visit our elected officials. We should do more than we are, even now, on media, social media, and in the newspapers. But I think the key handle that people in the West have with their governments over supporting Saudi Arabia's illegal war in Yemen are the arms sales. These arms sales, at least in Canada, are immensely unpopular with the ordinary Canadian. And if we were to do more about these illegal arms sales, we would be able, I think, to twist the arm of our Trudeau government and other governments in the West to stop providing cover for the Saudi war of aggression.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. We're out of time. It is a travesty, and a lot more needs to be done to put an end to it. Thank you, Mr. Ken Stone, for joining us out of Ontario from the Hamilton Coalition to Stop the War.